It's another Friday, and so it's another opportunity for Sean and I to spend a little time with you and just get you updated again on the work that Wellspring continues to do as this pandemic has entered sort of a new phase of reopenings and maybe winding down a little bit in certain ways. And so we wanted to just give you an update on that, but also let you know that this is our 14th Friday together and sharing this kind of information. And this will be our last in this format. And I'll say a little bit more about that in just a couple of minutes. But before I do, I want to bring Sean into this conversation. And Sean, if you would, just I know we're doing a tremendous amount of work, really all over the state, sort of reverse engineering the closings and reopenings now. And so talk a little bit about our work and sort of our status right now in this whole space.
Sure. So I think the first thing that's important to highlight, Dave, is we're hopeful going into the future as we begin to reopen, because it's been really over a month since we've had any cases of COVID anywhere within Wellspring in any of our facilities, thankfully. And through this, most of our facilities, 3 of the 5 that we've talked about, haven't had any COVID at all, even through the pandemic. So that's really hopeful. And as we're beginning to see the state open up, we're also working with the state and our federal regulators on the best way forward to begin reopening in a safe way and remaining vigilant. So some of the things we're doing, we're starting outdoor visitation with some pretty strict limitations around them, how many people can be there, scheduling them ahead of time, keeping good distance, having people continuing to wear masks, as a way to get families reconnecting with each other, getting folks outdoors, but still doing it in a safe way. We're not at a point yet where we're able to have visitors coming into the building, but we're following the state's most recent guidelines to start doing some mass testing of residents and staff and some ongoing testing, just to make sure that we get ahead of any infection getting in the building and that we remain infection-free. And once we've seen some time without any positive cases, that brings us closer to being able to let visitors back in. So those are some of the things we're doing to step us toward full reopening. On the child and family side, we're starting to resume our regular face-to-face casework with families and visits between parents and their kids that are in foster care. And we have pretty detailed plans we put together for all of our offices to support those visits and interactions happening safely, as well as those in the community. And we'll be rolling those out over the next few weeks and getting back to face-to-face work. So it's an exciting time that we're starting to open back up and re-engage face-to-face, but we're also maintaining our vigilance and having these plans to make sure we prevent the infection from popping up again.
Yeah, that's great. You know, we've learned a lot about using video chats and even delivering service to clients and families that way. And that's all been really good. But at the end of the day, our work is the work of being with and caring for and serving people. And so it feels good to not only be talking about getting back to that, but actually seeing it starting to happen. And I know I was at one of our facilities just a week or so ago, and some family outdoor visits were happening, and it was really their first time to do that. And it really did, there was a lot of joy, a lot of laughter, because it was such an important moment for folks. And so I know, you know, we all are beginning to experience that even in our own lives, as we may be able to do some things we weren't able to do in the past 3 months. And so it really is a sort of pivot point for us as people and communities, and certainly as the organization Wellspring. And so, as I said earlier, this will be our last Friday update of this type. But one of the things we've learned is the opportunity for this sort of communication has been really well received, and just by evidence of certainly the number of views we've been getting, but as importantly, and maybe more importantly, the feedback we've been getting, the questions that have come, the opportunities to talk more deeply with some of you about important issues. And so we don't want to lose that either. And so we will be communicating in new and different ways some video. We're going to be restarting our podcasts now that we can turn our attention to that. And so would invite you to watch for that as well. And so as we wrap up this last and final official Friday update from Wellspring, we just want to thank you. Many of you have walked this journey with us each and every week, each and every day. The support, the encouragement, the prayers. You've probably shed a few tears with us as well, and we appreciate that because we talk at Wellspring about being a big family, and we've had some grief, we've had some joy, like any family does and will. And so we do appreciate that. Keep those prayers coming. While we are pivoting, we're not done, and we are on guard should we need to be in case this virus comes back in any way, certainly in any of our facilities, but in the community at large. We're not letting our guard down. So again, thank you. Appreciate those prayers, and take care of yourself and others. God bless.